In this exercise, we're going to create layout attributed to a div tag, and we'll use CSS to establish its location and its size. So I'm going to create a new file for this. I am working with an existing website that we created in our previous lesson. You can see here's my index file that's currently open. But I'm going to create a new HTML file for this demonstration. So I'm just going to go new HTML, and I'll just call it div exercise, and click create, and that's going to be the title. Now I'm going to actually save the file. So I'll just go file, save as, and you should always save your file immediately after creating it. I'm just going to click site root just to make sure I'm in the root level of my site, and I'll give it a name. I'll just call it div.html. Click save. There we go, and it should appear over here, and there it is right there. Okay, so I'm just going to click up in the design view here, and I can either start by just creating a div tag on the page. Maybe I'll do that, and then we'll make a style for it. And you can do that by going div if you want to use the insert menu. You could have manually put it into, and I'm just going to click OK for now. And there is a div tag, as you can see on line 9 in my code view. And it's just got placeholder text, and I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so let's go into our CSS Designer tab. I'm just going to add that existing CSS style sheet, attach existing CSS style, and I'm going to browse for it. And inside of here, there we go. And I click OK for the link, and now I'm attached to the existing style sheet for this website. I'm going to create a new style for this with a selector, so I'll add a selector, and I do want it to be an ID, so I'm going to use a hashtag, and I'll just call it div1 and hit my enter key. So for properties, I do want to use the layout properties. I want to use the position. I want to make absolute position, and I'll put a border on it, and I'll also define a size. So let's just scroll down here. It's kind of tucked away in between two of these big boxes. See here we have position, and on the right side I can choose, and I will choose absolute, and then directly below that I can assign a position. I can go top, left, bottom, and right. I'm just going to use top and left, so I'll click here, and I'll use pixels, and I'm just going to type in 50 pixels from the top and hit enter. And for the left, I think I'll just shoot it over about 200 pixels. So we'll go pixels, and I'll try 200. Now I can always come back and change this. That's the nice thing. I can hit my enter key, and let's just give it a border so we can actually see it on the page. So we'll go over to our border properties, and I'll just say width. Let's just go again with pixels, and I'll say 10 pixels. My enter or my tab key. Style, I'll say solid, and I'll give it a color here. I'll just pick the bright red, hit my enter key. So there'll be a border of 10 pixels wide, solid, color of red, and the size will be, let's see here, and go back to layout, width and height, pixels. Let's see here, width, I'm just going to say 500 pixels wide, not 5,000, 500. And for height, let's make it a box. I'll make it also 500. Okay, so that's going to appear kind of towards the right side of the page if it's 800 pixels from the left, but let's just see what we get. So that's step one. I have an ID called div1. If I go show set, I'll click show set here. With the width of 500, a height of 500, absolute positioned, 50 pixels from the top, 200 pixels from the left. Okay, and if I scroll down here, there's my border properties. Okay, so all I need to do is attribute that ID to this div tag. So I am going to just click on the tag selector here, and under ID, I can select available IDs in that style sheet. And div1 was the one, and there we go. Now the nice thing is, once you've created this, there's this nice little handle at the top, and you can organically drag this guy around the screen, reposition it, and if you look in here, the CSS has updated to reflect that change. Okay. Once you're happy with that, in order to save both the CSS file, which I'll click on here quickly, and where is that div 1 right there, you do need to select Save All to save both your CSS as well as your HTML. Save all. And there we go. And that's the short story and one method on how to create layouts attributed to your div tags. And in this case, specifically, absolute positioned layouts.